Hello everyone, and welcome. So today I'm going to be using the takeaway kit that I filmed the other day. So I will put the link to my last video going through my whole takeaway kit, which was the pencil roll here with the pencil case attached to it, and my travel palette with Michael Harding paints in, and a few Caran d'Ache Neo colours. So I'm going to just test them out today and see how it works. I'm going to pretend I'm at a place called Hoveton Hall Gardens, and I will put a link to Hoveton Hall Gardens in the description below, and just test these out, see how we go. So to start with, I'm just going to need my paint, so I'm just going to move my pencil roll out of the way. Quite often I use paint almost like an undercoat, I suppose. So let's just get this. Oh, there we go. Get this water jar ready. I've got a number of brushes that I've got ready, and the sketchbook that I'm using is a watercolor sketchbook, and it's 300 GSM, and I'll put the link to that. It came from Amazon. So I have got from Craftamo these are rounds. So I've got a size 10 round. I have got a size 8 Van Gogh. What else have we got? We've got a size 6 Craftamo. We've got a size 4 Van Gogh. I've also got here a silver black velvet 1/2 inch flat brush. And this one, which is an interesting brush, it's very bristly, very tough, very hard. This I got from Terry Harrison's website. He's a watercolorist, and he's done many books. This is the Terry Harrison Foliage PX, for those of you that are interested in this one, and I might use it to do some of the trees that I'm going to be putting in the background of this picture. So let's get started and see how my travel kit, my takeaway kit, is going to work. So I'm going to start off, I've got some trees in the background here. I'm going to start off by putting some blue sky behind them. I don't mind that I'm going to be going over the trees themselves, because the leaves will be green, and I don't mind a bit of blue in the brown for the tree trunks. So let's start with a bit of cobalt teal. I think we'll start with a bit of cobalt teal today and make it quite bright. And I'm just going to add quite a lot of water. I probably could have wet this first, but I'm just going to do it this way, because when you're out and you're sort of in the countryside, to be honest, you don't always get the luxury of doing things in the same way that you do in the studio. Okay, so there is my sky. Now let's move somewhere else while that dries, and I've got a curving pathway here, which is a sort of a grey gravel. So let's have a little go with some cosmic blue. And I think what I might do is add a little bit of neutral tint to it to make it a bit grayer. Will that be a bit too dark? Maybe we'll add a little bit of white. Oh, that's better. I didn't want it quite so dark. Okay, let's see if we can get this pathway in. And this is really shows that I've already got some colours underneath. So there we go. I probably didn't mix up enough of that. We'll water it down a bit. There we go. Where there's a will, there's a way. Okay, so now we have at least the background of our pathway. Now we've got, what have we got here? We've got green, and I don't mind if that bleeds in. So we've got kind of like a green grassy edge, and we've got flowers and then more bushes in the background. So I'm going to do this green grassy edge, and I'm going to mix up my green with some of the cobalt teal. What happens if we add some quin bronze to that? Ooh, that's very bright, but it is quite a bright green, I have to say, in my photograph, because it was early summer. But I'm going to tone that down a little bit with some Earth of Cyprus, I think, just so that it's, yeah, not such an unrealistic green. And then we'll pop some of that in. And as I said, I'm not too bothered if it bleeds into the pathway, because the grasses overlap anyway. Now I want a little bit of variety here, so let's add a little bit of Perylene green to what was all the green that was already on my palette, and we'll just wet into wet add a little bit of that for some variety, and then maybe some Perylene green on its own. And we're just gonna, I mean, this is what watercolour is all about, letting watercolour do its thing, like so. And as this is just my first coat, we will leave that there. That's not too bad. So I'm going to do the bushes at the back now. So let's try mixing the Cosmic Blue with some Lemon Ochre. Need a bit more than that. Because they are more in the background. So I'm making them more of a grey green, but I can't have them all looking the same, so we need to just change it slightly for each one. And I'm using, so far all I've used is the size 10 craft Mo, because I'm not being, this is a greeny patch here on the edge of the pathway coming out of the picture there. A bit of Perylene green, a bit of Lemon Ochre. And then in the middle here we have all the flowers. But I want to get my trees in. It's still not quite dry enough. Okay. I'm going to change down to a smaller brush. I think let's go for the size 8 and see 8 round and see how we go. So let's see what kind of colours that we need for this. We've got a real mixture of colours here. Pinks, different coloured pinks, corals, yellows. Okay, let's start with let's get a pink by using the light Scarlet Lake. And making that a bit lighter with some of the white gouache. There we go. Right, and let's just see if we can get some of this pink in first. We've got a big patch of pink there, and it gets a bit darker, so we'll add a bit more of the Scarlet Lake red. I might add a bit of blue to that in a minute. Let's see what happens if we add a little bit of the cosmic blue. Well, that's gone too purpley. Back to some red. And just a deeper pink coming across there. And then I'm going to use the red, but I'm going to add a bit of the buff titanium to see if I can get a peachy colour with a bit of luck. More of a, maybe add a bit of the lemon. Yeah, I think that's gone a bit more peachy-fied. And then we need some yellows in there, a bit more peachy up here. So let's get the yellow ochre. I don't really use, and start filling in some of these gaps. And this is when the painting starts to look rather ugly, but we will be okay, I promise you. I might even add a bit more green in amongst the flowers. And just letting it all lead and merge together. Somehow I managed to get cut off and my camera has moved, but you can see I've finished the trees off. So next I'm just going to pause and dry that whole background that I have going on there. Okay, so I have just dried that, and I'm going to go in with layer number 2. So in layer number 2, I want to get these trees looking a bit more 3D. So I'm going to add in a mixture of the, what did I mix? Earth of Cyprus and the Cosmic Blue. And I'm just going to see if I can darken these up a bit. Because they were a bit light. That's kind of what happens with watercolour a lot. It comes out a lot lighter than you think it's going to. So I'm then going to just dab in some of the Cosmic Blue just to give it some definition, and we'll see what happens there. Okay, let's do the next one and make that a little bit make that a bit darker. And then I want a bit of the cosmic blue dotted in there, because I want little watermarks and things that make it look like texture on the trees. Okay, and we'll do the next one. Oh, apologies if my big head has ended up in the way again. What was I using? Yeah. Perhaps we'll make this one more brown. So I've added more brown than cosmic blue. So this is the earth cypress of it. Oh, that's coming out with quite a nice little pattern anyway. Okay. Maybe we'll do the next one like that. I will show you towards the end because it's quite difficult probably for you to see, but where you keep, you know, do your next layer and you add some other colours in, and you start to get some nice textures on the trees. And I'm more or less going over these ones here with just the cosmic blue. Okay, so we have a variety now of colours, and we've got some textures. Start again. Some textures going on. So I'm just going to see if I can brighten this up a little bit. This where the flowers are. Now that looks like quite a nice colour. Where's my rag? I don't really want to go over where those trees are again. So I'm going to do some splatting to get a different texture going on. Okay, so adding some more of these foliage to the trees now. You do, when you're using this foliage brush, you do actually need it to be quite thick paint. And I will have some branches peeking out in a bit, but for now I just want to get this foliage in there. In the background there. Like so. And then we will get some branches coming off the trees in a bit. So this is paint layer number 2. And I'm going to dry that off, and you can see I haven't been very precious. There are splatters here and there, but I'm going to deal with them when I do my third layer and some pencils. So it's all about layering until I get the effect that I want. But hopefully you can start to see we've got these trees in the background. We've got this lovely floral border, little bit of a grass border, and this path going round. The colours were absolutely stunning. I don't know what kind of flowers they were, I'm afraid, because I'm not a gardener. But right, let's see how. Oh no, we're not too bad here. So I'm going to start to try and get some texture onto this green border here. Let's just get rid of that brush, and I think we'll go for a much smaller brush. We're on a round number 4 now, and still mixing up. I'm just using the 2 blues that I have, which are the Cosmic Blue and the Cobalt Blue, Cobalt Teal, sorry. And I'm mixing that either with the Lemon Ochre or the Quin Bronze, so that I can get a variety of greens. Oh, that's rather nice. Okay, let's go with that, and we'll start getting some kind of texture and grass is coming up here. Although I do lots of layers, I'm actually quite quick when I paint. The more I think about it, the harder it becomes. So I tend to try and work as quickly as I can so that I'm not too precious and so that I'm not thinking about it too much. So just getting some of these little grasses in and a little bit of interest over here. And then I'm just using some water really to let that bleed into the path, so as it doesn't look unnatural. There, so I think we've got, and I can do the rest with some pencil. So other than that, I think I'm going to leave it as it is for the paint, and I'm quite happy with how that turned out and how my paint worked for me. So I'm going to pop that to one side. I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to come back with some Neo colours and also my Caran d'Ache luminance pencils. So I'm just going to pause that. Okay, so I have dried that off now with my heat gun, and I'm now going so having added in lots of Caran d'Ache pencils and some they're the luminance pencils, and some of the Neocolor 2s. I'm just going to bring this up a bit closer for you to see how those trees have turned out in the background. We've got this mass of flowers and our border, and yeah, some shadows there on the pathway. So that would just give me a lovely memory rather than a photograph, although obviously I've worked from a photograph today, which was my own photograph from Hoveton Hall Gardens. But if I was sat there instead of taking the photograph, then I would have been able to use these materials to make this picture. And yeah, I'm very happy with that. Okay, do remember to subscribe, click the like button and the notifications, and I will see you next time with a new purchase of mine. Okay, all right then, bye for now.